good afternoon to one and all present here. Sri Krishna College of Engineering and Technology. Welcome you all to the second session of Atal Academy sponsored 1 week FDP on deep learning for visual computing. It's a great honor for me to introduce and welcome the resource person for this session, Mr. Sabarinath Premlal, founder, Raspro Labs, Chennai. Sir is an embedded engineering graduate having a decade of experience in embedded hardware board design, IoT, AR, VR solutions. He served in leadership positions for automation projects with several industry and institutions. He has work experience as technical consultant at IT-based industries like TCS, FLSmith, Intel, Innov, etc. He is certified in parallel programming and optimization of Intel architecture for Intel Xeon processor, also certified in ARM affiliated engineering for ARM Cortex A and R processor. He participated and won in many hackathons. Intel IoT Roadshow, winner in FTF 2014, Freescale Robert Bosch Hackathon, ARM Design, Smart City Hackathon, to name a few. He published books on signals and systems and embedded systems with IoT. He is currently serving as Chief Product Officer in Ockham Industry Private Limited, India, and as Senior Business Consultant Product Management in Standard Acoustic Engineering. Our resource person is going to present his in-depth knowledge in the topic of perceptron and multi-layer network. Without further delay, let's hand over the session to you, sir. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Okay, hi all. This is Sabrinath. Okay, today I will be connecting with the deep learning for visual computing. Okay, so better I just share my screen, then I kick start it. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so what is the visual computing? So generally, if we are connecting about the visual computing, okay, whether the screen is visible? Yeah, it's visible. Okay, so the visual computing, in a sense, generally, it will be connecting with different technology, like the capturing, the processing, and the display. So these connectivity. Okay, so whenever we are connecting with the computer graphics or human vision or any image processing, also we can able to connect with via the visual computing. Okay, so via this we can able to connect with the AR, VR also, the robotics also. So autonomous vehicle, medical imaging, everywhere it connects with the video processing, right? Okay, so those things are all connecting with visual computing. So here I'm just going to take few demos at the initial stage for first of 15 to 20 minutes. So I'll just explain you what is a visual computing, how this works, everything I just explained. Then I explain in detail about some mathematical concepts of deep learning and everything. Okay. So I'll take in depth about the mathematics today. So if you are searching Google Teachable Machine, you'll get this link. Yeah, I'll share this link also. Okay. Here my camera will get on. So here I'll be connecting with the image and post project. So here I am just connecting normal images. So here I'm going, generally, if I'm saying about the deep learning, okay, there will be a set of images. So, not set of images only, set of data. So that data will be useful for train and also for test. Here, I just show you this one. Yeah. So if you are in the position to identify this one, you can able to connect it. So generally we will get some data. Okay. So we will get the data. So we will be connecting to the particular algo or particular mathematical stuff. Okay. Once we are training this data and with this model, so that will get trained and that will fit and that will create another model. Okay, that model is nothing but the same model. Okay, based on this data. Okay, the same brain. I mean, this is a normal mathematics. This is a brain. The brain connected with this data. So if you are connecting some data without answers, that model should predict it under which category it was. So under which regression it was. So under which. So it should identify it. So here I'm just connecting the labeled data and connected to the model. So once it is trained, it will create a model. Okay. After that, if I'm connecting unlabeled data, it should predict under which label it is. Okay. So this labeled data will be saying it as a trained data. This labeled data, this unlabeled data will be saying it as a test data. So whenever you are having some data set, you need to split up with the different things. So now I just connect you. Okay, here I'm just going to label with a different name. So here I'm having some development boards. Okay, so based on the development board, I am renaming it. So I'm just switching on my camera. Yeah. Hello. Okay, nothing. So can you switch on the light? The first switch. Yeah. So, yeah. I think this is visible. So here I'm having a development board. Okay, this is nothing but a Renesas. Okay, so here I'm going to take some sample images of this particular board. Okay, so I'm going to take some sample images of this board. So I took around 106 images of this one. So this is comes under the category called Renesas. So similarly, I'm going to take few more boards. So Azure Sphere board, okay, from Avnet. Azure Sphere board. So I took around 120 images. Then I'm going to take the third 4 or 5 boards. So link it one, okay, from the MediaTek processor. So MediaTek processor. So I'm just going to take sample images of this one. So I took around 133 images. So again, I'll be taking, I'm having 2 more boards. Okay. So this is from the Freescale. This is the old industry. So I'm just taking the live images. So instead of connecting with the predefined data set, I'm just taking some live images and I will be showing what are the data sets is available, how we can able to proceed further. So all this we can able to explain. So here I took around 120 images. Totally, I'm having a different label. This label 1 is Renesas, 2, 3, 4. 4 classes I'm having, and this is the general board, the Raspberry Pi that everyone knows. So most of you are work with the Raspberry Pi. So I'm just having Pi. So I'm going to record it. So I took around 142 images. Okay. So out of this, I'm going to, since I'm in my home, okay, I'm going to connect with few more things that what I'm having in my home, like with the vegetables or fruits, something. I'm going to take samples of those things. So I just mixed up, and I try to identify it whether this falls correctly or not. So I'm having banana. So I'm going to take some sample images of this one. So even you can ask, yeah, you are connecting the development modes, why you are taking banana? So to create a different data set, so I'm just connecting the banana. So I took around 200 plus images. And yeah, it's okay. Okay. So here I'm going to train it. So already this works with the CNN. So I need again. Okay. So already we are having a mathematical model that convolution neural network over here. So I'm just going to mix these things. So I'm just going to train this model. I just clicked train. So it's getting trained. So we need to wait. So while this is getting trained, so these data are all connected. So around 200. So total 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different classes. Around 750 plus images you are connected. So it's getting trained. Okay. Once it is trained, okay, we can able to see the preview here, or if you want to export this code to generate it, you can able to generate it. So this isn't purely a DL based approach. So even if you are connecting a cat, or if you are connecting a person, okay, I can name any person like Ganesh Babu TR. Okay, I'm just using his name, nothing else. So if I'm connecting Ganesh Babu TR, okay, if I see his photo, so I can able to recognize this face is nothing but Ganesh Babu, but I never seen while he is walking, okay, whether he's tall or short, okay, while he's laughing, while he's crying. So even the data is represented in a different way, this should be recognized. So that's the concept of a DL, right? So here generally it detects me as a pie and slightly detects me as a banana. So here I'm just going to connect with the banana. So practically what I took means I took sample images from this banana. So both the color are all different. So but this is able to recognize it. This is nothing but, this is also a banana. But I took images of this pattern only. Okay, this pattern only, the two in yellow color. But here if the pattern is changed, it can able to recognize it. So if my face is detected, it detects me as a pie. And also so mostly it detects this as a azure sphere. So 100% it detects this as a azure sphere. And also if I'm showing a Raspberry Pi, I mean, this detects as a Raspberry Pi. And if I'm showing this one, so this detects as a Freescale. Okay, and so this is nothing but a MediaTek processor. So Renesas. So if I'm connecting with the different boards, it should recognize it. Okay. So that recognition happening via the CNR. I'll explain about the CNR. So I'm just giving a demo that how the deep learning is connected for the visual process. I mean the image process. So practically I took images from here, but I'm taking some video processing. So in this video processing, what are the images that it is recognizing it? So these are the logics that I'm showing here. So even if you want to export this model, you can click here and export it, and you can connect for, if you want to connect for any website, or if you want to connect for any Android app or whatever it may be. So you can able to connect it to your application based on the end user connectivity. So this is a simplest demo that which is easily available. You can test in your home itself. Okay, how the deep learning is works. And similar way, I can able to connect you with some post project. Yeah. So here I'm not going to have a multiple post projects. So here I'm going to have maximum of 4 different classes. 1 minute. So here I need one more person support to handle my PC. My colleague will handle that. So in this class one, so yeah, please wait. Yeah, here this detects my face. Okay, so this detects my face. Please wait. Don't click. Once I'm saying yes, then you can click. Yeah, 1 minute. Please be there. I'll keep it here, so I can able to. So yeah, now I feel this is a bit visible. Okay, so here in class 1, so I'm just going to raise my right hand. Okay, so this is the class 1. So here I'm just going to take at least 150 images. Yeah. So 123 images. And similarly, I'm going to take for the class 2. So in class 2, I'm just going to click webcam. Okay. So here, wait. Yeah. So I'm just raising my left hand. Yeah, you can. Yeah. So here I took around 142 images, and again I'll add one more class. In class 3. So here I'm going to raise both the hand. Okay. Once I'm raising both hand, it will detect. Okay. So now you can take. So I took around 145 images, and finally I'm just going to add one more class. So we can give any pose, but I'm giving this pose. So I'm just giving some pose, nothing else. You just take 10 more images. Yeah. So totally I took around 4 different. I was connected with for 4 different classes. Okay, so approximately 500 images, 500 plus images I took. So I'm going to train this model. Yeah, it's getting trained. Please wait till it gets trained. So wherever we can use these applications, so we'll be using in a different manufacturing sectors, because if the people, I mean, if your people is working, I mean, let's say I'm just connecting a tire industry, okay, which is present in Sriperumbudur in Chennai. Okay, so in that particular place, okay, lots of people will work. Okay, so if a particular uh, pe- people is working for that particular machine, they'll be having particular post to work. Okay, they'll be having some positions. The right hand will be outside, left hand. So they'll be having some posts. So we are going to detect that post. If the pose is different for those cases, we can able to recognize it, and we can able to give an advisable that okay, your pose is different, so it's not advisable. Even if you're playing a badminton, as in, okay, while you are doing the smash or whatever it may be, so you'll be having a different body language, pose positional language. So there we'll be identifying it via the video sensing. Okay, so we will be augmenting it with by connecting different points. There we will be connecting for the real use cases. Okay, even it's used in a safety purpose in a manufacturing industry. So if a particular person is walking, standing, okay, so if he is fall, okay, if a particular person is fell down, so suddenly it should detect. So based on the pose and the continuous movement, okay, it detects and it identifies under which control place it is, and it will be updated to the centralized control room. So via that centralized control room, we can able to detect these things. So this will be used in a safety purpose also, and in a different segment, and even this will be mostly used in the medical segment. Okay. So under which pose it is, what are all the different pose which is having. So all this logic is applicable, okay, based on the pose that what we are controlling. Again, it's a purely based on the requirement, based on the project, the connectivity, based on the lots of logic. So here I just showed only 4 different poses. So if I'm connecting for a particular industry, so I will be having recently I was connected to a industry. So they will be developing an safety-based project. So practically there they will be having around 3 lakhs plus poses. So we for all the 3 lakh plus poses, okay. So each pose will have a defined meaning. Okay, so under on the particular day, what are all the meaning it's happened from that particular body language, from the particular employee, from the particular worker is recognized. So we are analyzing it. Okay, whether he is comfortable to work, whether he is not comfortable to work. So we will be analyzing those people. So these are the logics that we are connecting for a different post projects. Okay. So here I just show you if I'm raising my right hand, practically it should say this is nothing but a class 1, right? So yeah, it clearly detects this is nothing but a class 1. If I'm raising my left hand, practically it should detect class 2. Okay. So, yeah, class 2. So if I'm raising my both hand, it should detect this is nothing but a class 3. Okay. The same person with a different pattern. Not only if some of you are near to me. If you are doing the same process, practically you will be also having a different pose, and it will detect. So this should detect. Here you can able to see a dart. Ear, eye, ear, nose. So these are all the pattern detects for the face. Okay, even you can able to connect for the mouth also. So again, it's up to the developer to develop it. Okay. So these are all the advisable examples that you can able to understand what is a post project is. Okay. Hope you got some idea. Even if you want to export, you can able to export it. And I just share this link also. What kind of training is happening, sir? 1 minute. Yeah. Any specific model. So what model is used? This is purely a CNN based. Okay. So in front of us, it's purely a black box. So if we are working, we should work on each and every cases of the CNN. Okay. And by default, we know a methodology is okay. What need to be done for the CNN, but here we need to change that methodologies, and we need to change some mathematical process. So that's the thing that's happening over here. Okay. So again, it's purely based on the developer. Okay. Here the Google developed this solution, nothing else, via the video processing. So now I just close this. So these are all the demos that you can able to utilize. Even if you want for a few more demos for your projects with ADAS, driving assistance system, or something else, you can also try those things also. Okay. So even I show with some the driving assistance system projects also, and also I'll show few more conceptual things. Okay, how we can able to connect based on the face. Okay, so 1 minute. Yeah. Now I can. So generally, the deep learning is nothing but a neural network. Okay. So deep learning is nothing but a neural network. How the neural network structure it is. Okay. So we'll be having a multiple neurons. So collectively we are creating a brain. Collectively, as like human. Okay. So that's what it is connected. I mean, each and everywhere we can see a node. Okay. And we started to say that node name is nothing but a neuron. So collectively, if we are having a multiple nodes, we can start saying that that's nothing but a neural network scheme. So this is similar to the human pattern. Okay. So here we'll be having few neurons. So these are all the neurons that we are getting a different output. Okay. So different input. So these are the neurons. Okay, we will be having for internal mathematical processing, and these are the neuron for getting the output. So practically, this we will be saying. So this is nothing but a input layer. This is nothing but a hidden layer, and this is nothing but a output layer. So I can able to simply explain to you guys also. Okay, how I can able to say this hidden layer. Okay, so better. Okay, so I'm having a different. Is it training time depends on the number of images? Yeah. Training time depends on the number of images. Here, while I took the second training, the post project. Okay, the images is augmented with some other thing. So that image only took, right? So for that, the extra time it took. So training, it's purely depends upon the images, total number of images. If I'm having around 10 images, that's a different case. So generally, here I took around 500 images or 600 images. That's it. So in general, we'll be connecting at least 10,000 images. Okay, for that we should have that particular hardware also. Okay, we should have that particular graphics card. Okay, so based on the graphical processing, so the performance of the particular system will be very good. Okay, so here I'm just taking the two person. Okay, Madhu and Ganesh. Okay, let's assume. Okay, so we are having a two different person. Okay. So I'm just explaining about the deep learning. Yeah, I share my second screen. Yeah, I think the screen is visible. Parallelly, I can see the chat and I can able to give those information. So that's what I tried to connect. Yeah. So here. Okay. Let's assume so this orange person is me, and this blue person is Madhu. So I'm going to give my hand to Madhu, and similarly Madhu also is going to give his hand to me. So practically what happens, so Ganesh is seeing these things. So from his side he is seeing these things. Okay, so in what are the cases the Madhu can give his hand? Okay, if I looks dirt, practically he won't give his hand to have a gentle shake. Okay, and if I got affected with COVID, practically he won't. Okay, if I am unknown person, practically he may not. So there is a different thought process he is having. Okay, so similarly, okay, so here, so I gave the hand. This is nothing but input. Okay, so at the end, Madhu also responded to me by giving his hand. So that's nothing but output. From Ganesh point of view, okay, I gave the input, he responded. Okay, whether he gave the hand or not. So that's a response. Okay, that's nothing but output. But internally, in Madhu's perspective, what happened means, okay, I gave the hand. Okay, he connected with multiple logics. Whether I am looked at, or whether I got affected with COVID, whether I am the known person, whether, so different logics are there. So different logics will play in his brain. Okay, so these are all nothing but a hidden layer. Okay, different logic is played in his brain. So based on that, it's connected with some output thought process. So then only I mean, if all the neurons start saying yes, then only the output neuron triggers and he gave the hand to me. So this is nothing but the deep learning logic. So everywhere it connects with the multiple logic at the same time. It works and it performs and it gives the output. From others' point of view, they can able to see input and output. Even from our point of view, we'll be realizing the input and output only. But while we are going in depth, we can able to see one more layer called hidden layer. So that's nothing but in the orange color. Okay, that's nothing but in the orange color. So I hope you understood about the neurons. So okay, practically what happens means in his brain. So I'm just explaining. In his brain, okay, he'll be having some input layer. The input is nothing but I am giving the hand. Okay, and he'll be having different hidden layer. Hidden layer like anything. Hidden layer can be anything, any logic, but we don't know. But the Madhu only knows what he is thinking. Okay, so based on that, we'll be getting some output. Okay, this output. So this yellow color is not visible to him. Okay, so this color and this color only visible to him. He gave the input and he gave the output. So that's it. So I think now you understood about this. So I'm just taking a particular neuron. I'm just taking a sample of neuron. Okay. So generally, if I'm taking a sample of neuron, it will be connected with the multiple inputs. Okay. It will be connected with multiple inputs. Okay. And it gives only one output. It will be connected with multiple inputs and it gives only one output. So here you can able to see. So multiple inputs came here and only one output, but that output might be given to multiple neurons in the next layer. Multiple neurons in the next layer. Okay. So practically we will be having multiple inputs and one output from that particular layer. Okay. So here this is the activation function. So in this, so this is the data from the previous layer. This is the transformation that we are going to perform, and this is the neuron output. Okay. So let's assume I'm having an input like a x1 w1, x2 w2, and x3 w3. Okay. So what is w? Okay. Generally x1, x2, x3 are nothing but input, and w is nothing but a weightages of that particular input. Okay. So different weightages will be there. I will be explaining about the weightages also. Let's assume, okay, the scenario. So I'm just explaining in a simpler way. That's it. Okay, let's assume the scenario. So 3 persons are there. Okay, it's me and Madhu and Ganesh. Let it be. Okay. So out of these 3 persons, okay, we all 3 are going to give the handshake to Nageshwar. Okay. So Azim, so this is Shabri, this is Madhu, and this is Ganesh. This is Ganesh, but Nageshwar don't know about the Ganesh. Let's assume Nageshwar don't know about the Ganesh, but Madhu is working in the same college. Madhu and Nageshwar are working in the same corporate. So and Nageshwar is known. I mean, is known to me via this meet only. Okay, if we all give the hand to Nagesh, practically the Nagesh will respond to the Madhu. First he'll respond to the Madhu. So then he'll decide, okay, if he want to respond to me or Ganesh, generally he'll respond to me slightly, and generally he is an unknown person, right? He may not give his hand to Ganesh. So he is giving a different priority to the different people based on based on the person that he knows. Okay. So practically for this he'll be giving the maximum weightages. Okay. So let's say the priority. So he is giving more priority to Madhu and less priority to Shabri and no priority to Ganesh. So this is nothing but a weightages. So this is nothing but a weightages. He will be having different priority to the different peoples. Okay, let's say. So let's say this is having a priority 2, so priority 1, and this is nothing but a priority 0.1. Let's say 0. So like this. So this is nothing but a weightages. So here we will be getting different inputs. Okay, how much that input should enter into the particular activation function. Okay, so that will be decided based on the weightages. Okay, so then generally we will be adding some error like the bias. Okay, so that's nothing B. Okay, so the practically the input is x1 w1 plus x2 w2 plus x3 w3 plus B. So this is nothing but a net input for that particular activation function. Okay, so that's nothing but z equal to this one. Again, if the collective input is z, the output will be f of z. Don't consider this is a z transform. Okay, so this can be any transformation. So here we are just considering z as a input and f of z as a output. Z as a input and f of z as a output. Here even you can have y and f of y, k and f of k, m and f of m. So it's up to you to decide the mathematical notation. Okay, generally we will be writing like a z. Sorry. Then, okay, what happens? Okay, we can able to write that in the form of a mathematical notation. So we into this. So this also is nothing but the same formula. Okay, so here a is nothing but f of z, right? So that means generally we will be writing the output of a particular neuron is nothing but e. Okay, input is nothing but z. Okay, and then okay, so generally we know that there is lots of regression and lots of logistical function. So by default the logistic regression function, the sigmoid function formula is nothing but f of z equal to 1 by 1 plus e power of minus z. So this is the generic formula that we know very well. So here if we are applying that sigmoid function, so sigmoid function is sigma equal to 1 by 1 plus e power of minus z. Okay, so this is the sigmoid function. There is a different activation functions are the sigmoid function, ReLU function, leaky ReLU function, tanh function. Different function are there. So you can get all these function details. Okay, so how this is. Okay, so here I'm just identifying the derivative of this. Okay, so I'll explain about the derivative after that. Okay, now I just explained you this one. Okay, so this is the formula, right? Okay, here I'm just going to apply the sigmoid function. Okay, so what happens here? I'm just having some values. Okay, I'm just calculating it. Okay, I'm just getting a z value. So here f of z is equal to 1 by 1 plus e power of minus z, right? So 1 by 1 plus e power of minus 2.6. So sorry, we written the spelling mistake as 3.8, it's at 2.6. So finally we are getting output is nothing but a 0.93. So this 0.93 is fed to the some other neuron, or it might be the output. Okay, so that particular neuron output will be 0.93. Okay, so again I just show you the neural network. So this is the input layer. Okay, this is the input layer. These are all the corresponding weightages. This is the hidden layer and this is the output layer. Okay, the weightage we can able to represent here. I will switch on my camera and I will show you how to represent these things. Okay, so like this we can able to represent it. Okay, here. Okay, so this is nothing but the generic neural network. So if you are start studying about the deep learning, you should know what it is. Okay, and also you should know what is nothing but a feed forward network. So whenever you are going to train it, so here you are giving the input. So better I just yeah. So let's listen. Okay, for this here I'm having this is nothing but an input and this is nothing but hidden layer, this is nothing but an output layer. Okay, we identified with the 3 different things. So once I gave the input, this input is connected to the different weightages. Okay, so based on the weightages value, okay, it gave to the next neuron and it will do the calculation again. Finally we'll be getting it. Okay, so once I trained it, so this will fit to this first hidden layer. So this is nothing but hidden layer 1, and this is nothing but hidden layer 2. Okay, this is given to the hidden layer 1, this is given to the hidden layer 2, and finally it connects to the output layer. Okay, finally it connects to the output layer. So this forward technique till the output. So this is nothing but a feed forward neural network. I mean feed forward, yeah, here topic, the feed forward neural network. So the process of front side, okay, towards the output is nothing but a feed forward neural network. Suppose let's assume, suppose we are having some data set, like the student data set, like he's reading, playing, sleeping. So reading for 2 hours, playing for 3 hours, sleeping for 8 hours on daily basis. So he will pass. Otherwise, he will, let's assume this is a data set. But once we were connected to this, okay, so we will be training it. At the end, we will be checking whether the output is 1 or 0. If it is 1, it's a pass. If it is 0, then it's a fail. Suppose there may be probability of chance of getting 1 or 0. Both are possible. Suppose if he is getting a 0, what happens? Now a loss is created. Okay, so we need to identify that particular loss. Okay, so for that we need to calculate it. So generally we will identify the loss, I mean the mean square loss, like that we can able to identify it. So generally we, the actual output will be y. Okay, the predicted output will be y hat. Okay, so y minus y hat the whole square. Okay, so divided by 2. So this is nothing but a mean square loss. I mean in few loss cases we are not writing 2, in few cases we will be writing 2. Okay, it depends upon the logic that they are writing. So this is the loss that we receive. Again, once the loss is different, okay, again the thing is what we need to do is the back propagation. Okay, so we need to do the back propagation. So I just explain about the back propagation. Okay, now a feed forward network is connected. This is the y hat, and actual value. This is the predicted value. Okay, so if it is a difference, it will feed forward, pass the input, calculate at the each layer, we will get the output, and we will evaluate. So that's nothing but the residual or loss, or we can name it. Okay, so we'll be having the name like residual loss and different things. So, and we'll be evaluating. Then after that, okay, I'm not going to explain about the chain rule now. Okay, after that we need to re-update these weightages. Okay, in backward direction, like this side. I mean, I'll connect with the green color. So towards this direction. So it will update this weightages. It will update with this weightages. It will update with this weightages. So it will update till here. Once the weightages is updated at everywhere, this feed forward plus back propagation is nothing but one approach. So collectively we can able to say this is nothing but one approach. So feed forward was back propagation. Okay, so we can have multiple approaches such a way that our model will get trained again. So now a new weightages is applied. Okay, based on that new weightages, it will change again. It will change again. It will change again. So this is the process is continuous again and again and again. Okay, till the model gets the perfect. I mean, till the model gets the perfect accuracy, or till if you want to run this training process for around 10 times, the 10 approach will be done. So that means one time feed forward, again one time propagation, again then all the weightages are all updated. Again it does the process again it does the process again for continuously for 10 times. So totally 10 feed forward, 10 back propagation for 10 approaches. This happened. Okay. So this is nothing but a feed forward neural network. So again we need to calculate different logics. So now I just connect you with camera, and I'll show some mathematical calculation. Please be in the line. So 1 minute. So 192, 168, 0.202, colon. Yeah, I switched on my camera. Here you can able to see my node. So here I'm just going to write some calculation, so that will be helpful for me. Okay, let's assume. Okay, we are having a neural network structure like this. So these are all nothing but an input layer. These are all nothing but an input layer. Can you switch on that 1 minute? The light on the light off now. That's fine. This is fine. Yeah. So here I'm just going to explain it. So these are all nothing but a input layer. Okay. So even I just shown you here also. So something like this. So I just explain it why it is and what it is. Okay. So while doing the back propagation, we need to update at the each and every place. Okay. So that's what I'm going to explain you now. So again, I'm having few more. So this is nothing but output layer. This is nothing but hidden layer 1, hidden layer 2, and hidden layer 3. So I'm just explaining the mathematical. So here I give the input. This is connected to so again similarly this also connected to everything. Assume I drawn everything over here. And also I drawn assume. Okay, assume we are connected everywhere. So here the input is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Here the next layer is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4 neurons. So practically this will be connected as a 4 cross 4 matrix. This weightages. Okay. From the input layer to the hidden layer. For this 4 cross 3 matrix. For this 3 cross 2 matrix. This is 2 cross 1 matrix. See here I'm saying only one output. Okay, here I'm not drawn for everything. As in everything is connected. Because to draw it, why should I waste the time? So that's what I'm just doing. Here, this is the first weightages layer. Okay, this is the first weightages layer. So that's nothing but W1. So this is second weightages layer, W2. And this is third weightages layer, W3, W4. Okay, so like this. So here, this is the first weightages layer. Okay, but it fed to the first neuron to the first neuron, W1 of 1 1. Okay, and for this one, so this is nothing but W1 of 2 3. So we can name the individual the weightages. We can name the individual weightages. So similarly, this is nothing but W2 of 1 1 because the first neuron is connected to the first neuron. Okay, W3 of 1 1, W4 for 1 1, so W4 of 2 1. Okay, so this is nothing but W3 of 3 2. So this one. This is nothing but W3 of 3 2. And similarly, we can able to connect everything. So here we need to identify the loss, right? I said it's a loss. Okay. So we need to identify the particular loss. So once we identified the loss, then we can able to do the calculations. Okay. So once, our loss means we'll be identifying based on the y hat and y value. Okay, that I already shown you. Okay. So once I started to identify the loss, then I just want to update this value. So I just have to update this value. So how I'm going to update it? Okay. So while we are doing the back propagation, I need to update the parameters by connecting a different connectivity. Okay. Here, what I am going to do it means I just want to identify the derivative of this one. So practically, if I am updating this one, so the generally weightages formula W new is nothing but a W old minus the learning rate. Okay, W old minus the learning rate, dou L by dou W. Dou L by dou W of old. Okay, so I need to identify dou L by dou W of old. Okay, here while in the back propagation, so W4 1 1 of new is nothing but a W4 1 1 of old minus the learning rate into dou L by dou W4 1 1 of old. Okay, here I can able to easily identify it. Okay, so if I am connecting this one or this one, okay, so I just connect in another sheet and explain you. So if I'm going to connect, for this one, So this also you can able to identify like W4 of 21 new equal to W4 of 21 of old. So here we will be identifying the dou L, right? L, you know the formula, and here we need to do the differentiation. Dou W. So what is the learning rate? This is nothing but a learning rate. So what is the learning rate? So this we need to give by manual. So generally the learning rate will be 0.01 or 0.2. So if you are having a less learning rate, okay, your model is perfect. So I will explain how it is and what it is also. Okay. So now I just connect this to the next level of logic. Okay. So if I want to identify W311 of new, I want to identify W311 of new. So practically what I am going to do, it means W311 of new is nothing but a W311 of old minus the learning rate into dou L by dou W311 of old. Okay. So I just take this part only. I just explain it how it is connected to the chain rule. How it is connected to the chain rule. Can you make it clear? Little bit upside. Yeah. So here W3 new is nothing but a W3 old minus the learning rate into this one. So in this case, I just consider dou L by dou W311 of old is nothing but so here I am just connecting. So this dou L is here, but this is here. So I can able to connect this one. I can able to connect this one. So that means dou L by, again I will show you. I am just going to connect this one. Okay. So here this is the connectivity. So for this dou L by dou W411 into dou W411 divided by dou W311 of old. Okay. So this is the chain rule. Practically what happens means dou W3 is not only given to this one, this is also given to this one also. Practically we can able to write. So dou L by dou W3 of old is nothing but this is plus dou L by dou W421. So I need to consider this also. I need to consider because this is given to here and also to here. Even I can show in the green color. This is given to here and also given to here. This only is connected here. So if I want to identify the relativity, the change for this means I need to connect both the things. So here again I'll show you. Plus dot do W421 by do W311 of old. I need to substitute base. So this is purely based on the chain rule. I need to substitute this to this place. This entire thing to this place. So practically what happens? W3 of new is nothing but a W3 minus the learning rate into this dou L by dou W411 dot dou W411 of dou W311 of old plus dou L by dou w4 of 21 dot dou w4 of 21 divided dou w3 of 11 volt. So like this it will change. So practically what happens is, so if you are going to identify while doing the back propagation, if you are going to identify this one, you need to do this calculation. But if you are going to identify this one, you need to do the calculation for this path. Okay, and also this path. So you need to consider for each and every path and all the possibilities. So you need to connect the chain rule. So for this, it will become a very big formula. So I'm just connecting a small formula for your understanding. Okay, like this only the internal logical mathematics works perfectly. Internal logic mathematics works perfectly. So based on that logic only, this neuron reflection, everything will happen. Now I just switch off my camera and I connect it. Now instead now so that's a big formula, so I can't write over here and explain it. So I just use my pen and paper. So for your better understanding, So here there is a concept called the gradient descent. So the gradient descent is nothing but a we will be calculating. I mean, here I shown a formula, right? Okay, let's assume then. Okay. W new equal to W old minus the learning rate. Somewhere it's something like eta, somewhere it's L. Okay, different notation will be there. W old minus dou L divided by dou W old. Okay, so 1 minute. Okay. Yeah, so this is the formula, right? So here by connecting the gradient descent, I just show you a graph. Why the learning rate should be less. Okay, so this is nothing but a loss. Y-axis is nothing but a loss and x-axis is nothing but a W. Okay, generally we'll be having a curve like this one. Okay, generally we'll be having a curve like this one. Okay, so if W old is somewhat here, so practically what's the objective of this curve means? So whenever we need to identify the proper W value such a way that it will be having the minimum loss. Okay, if the W is present somewhere here, it should increase it. If the W is present somewhere here, it should decrease it. Okay, so let's assume, okay, we are having the derivative is nothing but the positive. Derivative is nothing but a positive. So practically when the W old is somewhat here. So by default we can able to write. So if I'm connecting a slope, okay, this is a negative slope and sorry, this is a positive slope. Okay, this is a positive slope and this is a negative slope. Okay, if it is present somewhat here, okay, so practically what happens means the W old will be here. So the W new should be W new should be this old W. Okay, W old. Okay, so this is a negative slope, right? So minus the learning rate into, so I said it's a negative slope, so it will be having some negative value, so minus x, that is minus x, some negative value. So practically what happens means W old plus the learning rate into x. Okay, now practically what happens, this W old will increase it. Okay, it will move towards this. So here I said this is a positive slope. In this case, okay, the W new is nothing but a W old minus the learning rate into, let's say this is a positive slope, so that's nothing but a x. So practically what happens means the W old minus the learning rate into x, right? So this will decrease it, this will increase it. So practically this will move towards this one, this will move towards this one if the W is present here. So why we should keep the learning rate should be as small as possible. So here I said 0.01. Okay, if I'm connecting, okay, if at this place, if I'm connecting 0.01, so practically the W old will jump maximum from here to here only. If I'm having higher learning rate, okay, if I'm having higher learning rate, practically it will directly jump from here. Okay. Before explaining that higher, I just explained in lower learning rate clearly. So again, for the lower learning rate, it will jump from here. It will jump from here. It will jump from here. Slowly it will jump and it will reach the ocean. If it is a higher learning rate, it will directly jump. Again here, what happens? This will directly jump from here. It will around somewhat here only. Okay, it won't reach this place. Okay, for this reason, we are saying the learning rate should be as minimum as possible. Then only this is an advisable way to update the W, I mean the weightages value. So this what we are saying is this is nothing but a gradient descent. Generally we will be saying this is nothing but a gradient descent. Okay. So here I'll just connect it here. Okay. So I said, okay, we need to identify and so for this I shown the equation. Okay. So how it is, okay, and we need to connect for the back propagation for everywhere. We need to update it. So then we need to update the parameters. Okay, so then once once we updated, okay, somewhat here. Okay, once we updated, this is one approach again with now this new value is based on this new value. Again, we'll trade it. We'll verify the result. Okay, again this new value will be the old value for the second approach. So while doing the second back propagation, this first approach, the weightages new value will be the old value. So like this it will connect and it performs those operations. So these are all the way that how the back propagation is performed. Okay, so again, there will be different activation function, TANH function, okay, ReLU, leaky ReLU, so different things are there. So again, I just show you few more things. So while we are training the neural network structure, so there is a different way of approaching the training. Okay, so practically, okay, if we are connecting with the entire data set, that's nothing but a full batch. Okay, full batch, mini batch, and sophisticated things are there. So if I'm connecting with the entire data set, slowly the process is very slow while we are doing the training. Okay, so here, so for feed-forward network, the full batch will be training. Okay, so we will split this batch in different things. So we will take the batch wise and we will train it like this. And so this midpoint is nothing but you just consider in a 3D shape. Just consider in a 3D shape. This is something like a U-shaped bell. Okay, so at the middle point only it reaches the first. The less error. I mean, the similarly that what I shown here. So don't consider this is a 2D diagram. This is a 3D diagram. Okay. So again, we can able to shuffle the data. So we can do the process. Okay, and okay, sorry, not this one. Okay. And while we are completing these things, okay, we can able to connect with what it is and how it is. So while we are doing, we don't need some. We may ignore some neurons. We may ignore few things. So for that, we'll be connecting with the dropout mechanism. Okay, dropout mechanism will reject some neurons. So unwanted neurons means we need to remove it, right? So for that, we'll be using with the dropout mechanism. So here, this is the standard neural network. After applying dropout, how it will be? Okay. So generally, for these cases, I just complete it a bit sooner. Okay. So generally, okay, we'll add some dropout ratio, multiply the dropout ratio to everywhere. Dropout ratio to everywhere again. Okay. So after multiplying the dropout ratio at everywhere, okay. So generally the dropout ratio will be range from 0 to 1. If we are multiplying with that to the data, okay. So already the data is low. So if we are multiplying it, so let's assume here we are having the value called 20. Here we will be having 0.002. Okay. So practically 0.002 is infinitesimally small while compared to 20. So automatically this gets ignored. This only gets followed. So like this only we can able to connect with the dropout mechanism. Okay. And one more thing. I just want to, I mean, even while I'm connecting the convolution neural network, I just want to explain. So generally the convolution neural network is connected based on the scalar product. Okay. So if I'm connecting with the ANN, artificial neural network, then I can able to connect, that's nothing but a vector based product. Okay. So in convolution neural network, okay, I show you. Okay. Let's assume whenever we are having some images, the images will be with some pixels. Okay, so each and every pixel have some value. Based on the number of bit color that we chosen, that number will present. Let's assume if we are having 256 bit means if it is a 255, then it's a white color. If it is a 0, then it's a black color. Okay, so this is how the input. The image will be that. So let's assume this is the image and this is the kernel. Okay, kernel means the filtration process. Kernel means the filtration process. So we need to take this kernel over the input such a way that we need to do the multiplication under each level of rows and columns. Okay, so here if I'm taking this one like this, 3 into -1, 2 into 0. Okay. So like 3 into minus 1, 2 into 0, 1 into 1, 1 into minus 2, like this. Okay, what happens means, so 3 into minus 1, so like this. So finally I get minus 3 plus 1, so finally I get the value called 2. So I will be placing 2 over here. So this is the output. So the 3 is converted into 2. The 3 cross 3 matrix is converted into 1 cross 1 matrix. How this is processed means, let's assume we are having a square matrix for input and kernel. So m row m column for input and n row n column for kernel. So output will be m minus n plus 1. M minus n plus 1. 3 minus 3 plus 1 is nothing but a 1. So like this we can have a multiple kernel, okay, with a different. Here this is a vertical line decoder, horizontal line decoder, corner detector. Again there is a different logics are there. So you need to identify the based on the local features. Okay, so based on that only we can, I mean, while you are doing the research, you need to identify the proper kernel. Okay, so if you are connecting with the generalist kernel, it will give the generalist output only. Based on the image segment to under what category. If you are connecting with the manufacturing category, you should use the different kernel. If you are connecting for the medical category, you should use the different kernel. So based on that only, it works perfectly. Okay, again, without that also it works, but if you need the perfection under the research, you need to identify these things. Okay, so I'm just repeating again. So here, this is nothing but a 5 cross 5 matrix, and this is nothing but a 3 cross 3 matrix. So 5 minus 3 plus 1 is nothing but a 3 cross 3 matrix. So this is the output. It's nothing but a 3 cross 3 matrix, and this is the input and kernel. This blue color are all kernel. So even I can show with some images also. 1 minute, yeah. So by seeing the image itself, you can able to understand it. How a output matrix is framed. How a output matrix is framed. So by seeing this image itself, you can even I can show some other example like this. Okay, here what is this? So this is nothing but a padding mechanism. I just connect it here. So and another concept is padding. So if I'm connecting this image connected to this kernel, okay, it detects and it identifies. Practically what happens means, okay, generally if I'm connecting, it will consider from here to here only. Okay, here to here means while we are converting this, okay, if I'm connecting this particular 3 cross 3 matrix, so this middle point only considered. So these edge points are all not considered or are not utilized clearly. So for that we are having a mechanism called padding. So padding means we are adding one more row at the top and top and one more row at the bottom, and also one more column at the right and one more column at the left. So total we are enhancing. So this edges also clearly detected. Okay, so now this is nothing but a 7 cross 7 matrix. 7 minus 3 plus 1 is nothing but a 5 cross 5 matrix. This is with padding. So that's what I shown the images like this. So if we are connecting with padding, how it will be. Okay, so this is with padding. Okay, so different connectivity you can able to connect. Okay, based on that. So based on this algo only, I shown the demo. Okay, so here if you are not connecting with padding, so how you are going to connect? So these things are all by seeing itself you can able to understand. And one more thing is the polling. So generally how the polling. So if you want to shrink the images, okay, there is a max poll, average poll, mini poll, different pollings are there. So here totally 4 cross 4 matrix is there. So I need to convert it into 2 cross 2. So I just connecting for 2 cross 2. In this 2 cross 2, which one is having the maximum value? 8, here 5, here 1, here 4. So now the maximum value is connected. This is nothing but a maximum polling. If it is average polling, it will calculate and identify the average. 2 minus 3 is minus 1. plus 1 is a 0 plus 8. So totally 8 by 4 is nothing but a 2. So the average polling. Like this also we can able to connect with the different polling mechanism. So these are all the different mathematical logic of how the deep learning works, how the convolution neural network works, and based on that how we can able to augment. I mean that augmentation we need to work. So these are all the generic idea I can able to give for past one and a half hours. Okay, so hope you guys are all understood. Okay, even I can give in. I mean, I'll share this presentation to the corresponding faculty. So if you need, you can able to get it. Okay. So again, if you are having any doubts, please let me know. If I knows, I'll share the knowledge. If I don't know, I'll get some information from you guys. If you're having any doubt, please let me know in the chat or by unmuting. You can try it. Please. Yeah, if you're having any doubts about the Sohar that what I connected with the mathematics, please let me know. I will help you.
Dear participants, if you have any queries, please post it in the chat box or you can unmute and speak.
Yeah, I just stopped sharing my screen. If you're having any doubt, I'll initiate it. Yeah, hope you understood clearly. Yeah, organizer, thank you for connecting. Okay, to the faculty team, and also I would like to thank the management who connected me, and also the great participants. Okay, you. Okay, so yeah, organizer.
Thank you very much for the valuable information regarding the deep learning and the neural networks. Sir. It will definitely help us in future. Thank you so much, sir. Dear participants, attendance and feedback link has been posted in the chat box. Please fill it.